Hey everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. So I almost forgot about the 4th of July. So today we are doing a 4th of July box. And it is using the Velcro dots to hold that in place. So I'm just going to lift that. And it opens like that, and then I just put some little treats in there. So this is how it goes. It's pretty easy to do. I think that I may try doing the little magnet. It's a little bit harder when you're using the Velcro dots to line it back up so that it's straight, but I mean it works just fine. But if you have the magnets, I just didn't want it to show, and what I would have done was to put the magnet underneath the designer series paper on that side. This side it doesn't matter to me, but because this is clear you can hardly see it. But I think I would have put a magnet under here and then just put the other one on this side. But I mean it works just fine. It's just that what I do is line up this bottom part so that it lines up straight. But look how cute. I love it. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so this is what we're doing, so let's get started. I'm going to do all my cut and emboss work, and we're going to get going stamping. And oh, by the way, if you didn't see my Memorial Day one, you can use that for the 4th of July as well. So it's this one right here, and I did this one for Memorial Day, but you can put Happy 4th here. You can do it in any way you want, but it's a little window box. I love this one. I thought this one's one of my favorite. I just love the windows, of course. So that is that, and I'll link that here in the video, and you can watch that if you haven't seen that, because you can use that also for 4th of July. Alright, so I am going to grab my little piece that's going to be the sentiment. So what I'm using for this, I'm using the Happy Birthday Chick. I'm getting all this stuff all messed up. And I'm using just the celebrate part of this. So I'm going to mask the let's and you for this. So I love this one. This is carrying over, by the way, into the new annual catalog. And then I am using the Stitch Stars. This is the Playful Alphabet, which I'm using for the 4th part. And you know I use this a ton. So if you follow me a lot, you might want to grab that one. And then the Stitch Stars. And I'm using the second of the largest stars here. It's actually the 3rd largest because this one is the next. But the one that's inside this large star, that's the one I'm using here. And I'll tell you about what size it is when I pull it back out. I'm also using this designer series paper, which is our Brights collection. It is our 6x6 designer series paper. It comes in all of our color families. And then for the stars, actually these are little hearts on here, but I loved that it looked like kind of like stars or polka dots, so that's why I use that. And it is out of the snail mail, which this is out of our mini catalog, and this one right here. And if you still have this catalog, it's almost over. It's over June 30th. So if there's anything you want to grab out of that catalog, you might want to do that before it goes away. And this paper I love. So that's what I'm using for that. So we're going to stamp, and like I said, I'm going to mask the U off of this one, and I'm going to mask the let's, and we're just using the celebrate on here. And I'm just going to stamp it, and I'm stamping it in Pacific Point because the colors we're using are Pacific Point and Real Red. So I'm stamping that. Be sure when you do that to take off your masking tape. And then just stamp your celebrate. Just like that. That's really the only thing we're stamping. So then we are going to just cut this, and I'm just going to cut it close here. And I just kind of cut the edges a little different just to make it a little bit more interesting. It's just something a little different than I normally do. I'm going to also cut closer to those letters there, make that a bit smaller. So that's our Celebrate for that. And then I'm going to grab the cut and emboss, and I am using the big one this time because I want to run these both through at the same time. So I'm going to use the basic white for the star, and then I'm using just a little piece of real red for the fourth. And we're going to run those through, and then we are done with this cut and emboss. So there's our fourth. By the way, I am going to shorten the H a bit because I thought the H was a little too tall. So I shortened it just a little bit. And then this is our stitch star. I love the stitch stars. I know you've seen me use these a ton because I do love them. All right. All right, so first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and shorten that H. And I'm just cutting off a little bit of the top part. Just a tiny bit. And we're going to use some wet glue. Hopefully my wet glue I forgot to put the top on it, the little pin back in it. And when you do that, sometimes it clogs up. That's one thing that kind of bugs me about this. But so we are going to put the fourth here. Oh, almost put it on the wrong side. And it does come off of the star just a little bit, but I like that. So there's our star, and it's all ready to go. And then we're going to go ahead and score. All right, so this piece here is our bottom box. This is 5 by 5. And you are going to score it 1 inch on all 4 sides. Simple enough, right? And this piece is 11 by 3.5. This one you're going to score at 2 7/8, at 4, at 7, and at 8 1/8. We need that little 1/8 of an inch so that the inside box fits well. All right, so let's go ahead and sharpen these score marks. And then we're going to do this bottom part of the box. And when I do one of these, I always just turn it 1/4 of a turn and then cut up each one of these. And we'll sharpen these. And I think I'll use my Tear and Tape Plus for these. So we're going to just put adhesive on all 4 of these corners. This is a very easy little box. And then you're just going to line these up. Make sure you keep it nice and square. And so this is the bottom of our box. It's going to go on top here. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mat these top pieces. This piece is a little bit larger than this piece, I think. I think I measured it a little bit. I'm going to remeasure to be sure I'm telling you the right thing. So this is 2 7/8. No, they're both the same, so we're good. All right, I matted them different though. So this piece that's going to go here, this piece is 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. And then the top piece that we're going to mat here is going to be too big. So I told you, so do them both at 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. So I'm going to bring up my trimmer and just trim this down just a hair. I wondered why. So this is this one way is 2 5/8. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just cutting a little bit off there by 3 3/8, and I've already got it at 3 3/8. All right, so the reason why I got confused is because the first one, and I'll show you that on here, I forgot to mat this first, so that's why it's cut inside, and I had to just figure out in my head how to get it to fit on there. So this one's going to look a tad bit different because we're going to cut this. But let's go ahead and get these matted, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to mat this one on here. And then the other one is going to go on the other side. On here. And then we are going to cut these. So the way that I measured to cut it was that this score line right here, your first score line, I just measured 1/4 inch. I mark it right here with my pencil, right there. And then on the side here, just turn it this way and mark 1/4 inch here. And then you can actually draw a line. I didn't draw a line, I just used my scissors because I have those large scissors. Just draw it across here. And then you are going to cut this one. This one, these scissors really help me to cut straight across to that other point. So this one's going to be solid here, whereas the other one has a little bit of a red edge here because I cut it after the fact. All right, so now this other one is, we're not cutting at all, we just cut that one. All right, so we are ready to go. We're going to I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus for the bottom part. And I'm putting 3 because I want it to stay really well on here. And then you just want to set it on the inside, in between your score marks. And then it will fold in just like that. All right, so this is where you need to put your little Velcro dot, and I'm going to just show you how I did that. It's really easy to get it on. It was just lining it back up that got me a little messed up. So I'm going to use one of the regular and one of the fuzzies. And I just line up the bottom of it. But first, we're going to put this here, right in the center. Line up your bottom just right, and then I just stuck my fingers in there to press it, and then you can just open it and then reinforce it so it stays. All right, so you have to line it back up for it to adhere again, so you always just line up your bottom piece. All right, now we are going to grab some ribbon. I am using the same ribbon I used the other day, the one that comes from the Flowers for Every Season, and it's this pack right here, and it's got this white kind of gauze ribbon. I love this ribbon. That's why I'm using it so much. I really love this ribbon, and you can still get it. It is in our annual catalog. So I'm just going to cut a piece. I may end up shortening this piece. And then I'm using our double stitched real red ribbon. So we're cutting 2 pieces. And we're going to cut them about the same length. Just like that. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. Look. I just brought another one out because my other one ran out, but I decided to use the refill. So we are going to do that kind of in a crisscross pattern. I think I'm going to cut this one going this way. And this one. All right, so then the next thing you are going to do is you are going to get your 4th star here, and we are going to use, again, we're going to add that right to the center. We're going to add our Celebrate with some wet glue up in the corner there. Like that. Then you're going to use the dimensionals for the back of the star, but you only have to put it on this half of the star, so only put it on half. You can use 2 or 3, whichever you like. I'm going to add one more because I want it to stay. And then you're just going to add that to the center. Let me move it up just a hair. And again, I'm going to just press it down there. Done. Isn't it cute? I think it turned out super cute. I hope you enjoy it. Just don't forget to put your candy in and line up your bottom so that your Velcro. If you want to use the magnets, go ahead and use the magnets. I think I would put the magnet underneath the Designer Series paper. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's my hostess code for June. June's almost over. We will be getting a new one for July. And you can shop on my blog at stampingwithamore.com. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later, everyone. Bye.